This is exactly right.
Hi, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Hi, we have a big, exciting announcement for you.
That's right. We're here at the Microsoft Theater about to go do our huge live show.
For 7,000 people.
No big deal.
Nope.
But first we wanted to tell you guys that we are announcing our 2019 winter tour.
Yeah, we're going to go to a bunch of cities we've never been to before.
That's right. What's up, Hawaii?
Yeah.
Among other places.
That's the only one we can think of. Pre-sale goes on November 5th.
That's right. And first tickets pre-sale go to the fan cult. So if you're not a member, go to myfavoritemurder.com, join the fan cult. There's a bunch of other bonuses.
And keep your eye peeled because we want to see you in 2019.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Los Angeles?
Wow. We're Lady Gaga.
Spooky Halloween. Oh my God, my heart is racing. Yeah. It's just racing. Listen to that shit.
Wow, there's a lot of you.
Jesus. Yeah. Thanks for
coming on
up.
Halloween.
Yeah, on Halloween of all nights.
I feel like that means most of you guys aren't parents of small children. Yeah.
Thank you.
Us too.
Thank you for doing that. Good of you. So, we should explain our costumes.
Yes.
Probably. Be a good idea.
It's not what you were expecting, maybe. Us either.
What'd you say?
It's not what they were expecting.
I swear to God, I just heard footsteps over here. I'm not joking. And an icy cold hand touched my shoulder and said, "Do you want a pretzel?" I was like, "No, thank you."
Was the answer? Yeah. Okay,
as you know, Georgia and I met at a Halloween party.
That's right.
4 years ago?
Something like that. Hosted by a friend, Matt McCarthy.
Matt McCarthy's in the house tonight, who loves wrestling.
Of the We Watch Wrestling podcast.
Yes, that's right.
And this is essentially what we were dressed as. And there were 7,000 people there.
It was such a crazy party, you guys.
You were a nurse.
I was. My mic is insanely loud. I was the Ebola nurse, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You remember a time when Ebola was the scariest thing happening in this country? Remember? Oh, just a wonderful, wonderful time.
What I wouldn't give for Ebola. Trade it in for today's
bullshit.
State. Yes.
Just a tiny sip of Ebola to make everything else go away. Am I right? But mostly I picked this outfit or this costume because they used to sell scrubs at CVS. So it was like the easiest costume in the world. And also it's not a costume really. It's just kind of like wearing very light cotton sweats to a party, which is my thing.
But with pockets.
Yeah, that's right. And rubber gloves. I put those in there. They didn't come with it. Those are my personal ones. And then, of course, Georgia.
Well, listen. Okay, I was dressed as Glenn Danzig. Thank you, from the band Misfits. And Vince was dressed, we were a couple's costume. He was dressed as Henry Rollins. It was this adorable cop, whatever. It was a lot more punk rock because I wasn't in front of 7,000 people. And then when I went backstage, I was like, I don't want to look like Squiggy all night. So I have my bangs. Listen, we did it the My Favorite Murder way, which is kind of half-assed.
But we're like, you'll like it. You'll like it fine. Who cares? Who cares? I feel like all of Halloween is just this weird day of sweaty scramble, and then you just like slowly begin to resent your friends for some reason. You're just like, these fucking assholes making me do this.
Yeah, I want to stay home and eat candy like I do every night.
But no, they make me go stand at a party. So if you don't know, the rest of the story is I showed up to this party alone, which is simply, I don't know how I did it. I don't know why I did it, really.
I think usually someone has to say to Karen, if you don't come, I will not be friends with you anymore.
Oh, it was Matt McCarthy. That's
okay.
Right. It was his party.
That's right.
It was his party, and he threatened my life. So I was like, fine, you matter to me. So I showed up, and then almost immediately told a story about watching a car mow down 30 people, which really did happen to me, but I was kind of telling the story as a brag, and to get like pity and attention. It was a weird move for the beginning of a party. Very sober move. And I watched the 3 people I was talking to who had just smoked a hint of pot. All their faces dropped and turned gray. And I was like, oh no, I've done it again. And then from behind them,
but like this
little hand, tell me everything.
Because all I want to talk about is parties, is horrible, terrible things. And so I got so excited that this person was doing that.
And she saved my life.
And then we started a podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What we're saying is go to parties. Go to parties.
And tell terrible, terrible stories when you're there.
Go to parties, be nauseating, see what happens.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Should we have some photos of ourselves when we dressed up as kids for Halloween.
I have to say this. We've never played to 7,000 people before.
You know who else hasn't? Any podcast ever. This is the largest live podcast ever.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's on. It's on.
It's bananas.
And now, you know, the people from Things My Dad Fucked are going to be like, I have to do that too, or whatever.
Go ahead.
So we were like, what if, because we actually came here to see, I'm sure you've seen the commercials for the Chinese dance troupe Shen Yun. We came here to see them, to see that show.
There.
We were over there.
And we were like, this is gonna be beautiful and culturally interesting, you know?
And it was a cult.
It was a cult.
Literally a cult. And we like bailed at intermission and people tried to grab us and pull us back in.
We went to the Yard House. That's our cult.
Never been happier to be in the motherfucking Yard House. I was like, yay, frat boys. Oh my God, what a miracle. But as we were sitting there, we knew the show was booked. But it was a really long time ago. And the whole time was just in there going, how the fuck are we gonna do this? We don't have a dance troupe. We don't have a cult, but actually we do. It turns out.
That's exactly right.
So we've just done a lot of pre-production, and we thought we'd show you some pictures to kind of get through the top half of the show, dazzle you Shen Yun style. So these are, I think, is mine first.
I think yours is first.
We're just gonna go and we're gonna show you our favorite Halloween costumes of life. Can we see the first one?
Aww.
What?
Karen.
Now, drink her in.
That's so cute. Baby Karen. That looks itchy.
It is. It is. It was the world's worst. This is proof that my parents hated my fucking guts right there. It was a torture device for a 5-year-old because that netting, so it was my cousin Lisa's costume from the Nutcracker from 8 years previous. And underneath the intensely barbed wire-ish brown netting on the outside, I'm wearing brown tights and a brown leotard, which, as we all know, when you're the kind of kid that has to pee every 10 minutes, is probably the worst outfit you could wear. But we went to, now I'm having recovered memories, we went to, I think I like the hat part though, it was comforting. You can tell by my smile that I'm having a wonderful time. I've always been very photogenic. After this, we went to a 4-H Halloween party because I'm from a farm. Remember? That's right. 4-H. It's like a group for kids that walk around in fields all day long and don't have friends. So we went to this 4-H party, and it was in a big barn. I mean, for 5-year-old me, when we walked in, it was like Halloween Wonderland. They had decorated it, and there was like hay bales, and there was candy stacked all over the place. I was just like, where have we come to? So they had a guess how many jelly beans are in the jar contest. And when I walked up, the girl, some 15-year-old that was taking all the guesses, wrote my name down, then goes, how many jelly beans do you think are in the jar? And I go, 15? And she goes, 500? Okay, and writes that down. And then I fucking won.
Yeah. She knew.
She knew what I needed.
She was like, that girl looks really uncomfortable. I'm going to make her night.
I had a jar like this. I rode home in the car, just like,
hell yeah.
I don't even like jelly beans, but I won.
And she still has it today. It's going to be a prize at the end of the night. Moldy jelly beans.
All right, let's see yours.
Okay, let's see mine. That's not it. Okay. There. There she is.
Are you baked Alaska?
No, I'm like a 1950s person, but look at my shoes in the carpet.
Oh.
Have you seen dirtier shoes?
Oh, that you had been gardening that day.
Yeah.
Is that what it
that's
was?
just what my life was like. Just the dirtiest shoes. Always disgusting. Oh,
that's really good.
Yeah. That's it.
Was it a grease? Were you trying to do a grease?
Sure. We were just really into you know what we were into at the time? La Bamba. We had just seen that movie. And I just wanted to be like a greaser style.
Yes.
So I dressed like this, but I refused to get on a plane because I thought I was going to crash and die, like in the movie La Bamba.
You had a flight that night?
What? Yeah. So that's that. She looks stoked. I mean, she's probably so sugar high at that moment.
Of all the movies, you told me, like, you know my favorite movie as a kid? Fucking La Bamba. It was like, there's so much story, and it really happened, and it's so sad, but also a huge victory in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's that. Oh, I have a photo to show you. I dressed someone up today.
Oh.
So someone on our last weekend in the Bay Area, someone makes costumes for cats. Her name is Maddie at Miss Maddie Makes at Etsy, and she gave me something for Elvis. So I put it on him, and he hates my guts now, but I had to do it for you. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It's a Cookie Monster hat!
Oh, this is so degrading. It's not right. Pets don't like this. They don't like it.
He loved it. He loves it.
Look at the look on his face. And
That's just his face.
He's about to take out one of your corneas.
That's just his face. Look at how happy he looks.
His ears are flat against his head.
I know. Vince, when I brought him out, Vince was like, I thought they were ear holes. And I'm like, there are. His ears are just all the way. You can see his ears. Look at him. Oh my God.
He does look exactly like the Cookie Monster, though. He
Doesn't
really
he?
does. It's uncanny.
Truly. Oh, it made me so happy.
He took the hit for you.
He did.
Every time people are like, look, my little dog is an elephant, it's like, your dog is pissed off, right? Don't be so mystified when he shits on your new duvet next week. It's A+B.
Right. And we have one more photo of a child in a Halloween costume.
Okay.
It's Steven. That's right. Let's have him explain it to us.
Oh, yeah, Steven!
Steven! There he is!
Oh, yeah.
Get
You're
out here!
straight-
Yay! Say hi.
I'm free.
Really?
This is who I was meant to be.
This is who he was.
There we go.
It really is him. Take this off so we can prove it, that we didn't murder you. There, it's Steven. Yay. That's you.
That's me.
Oh, yeah.
So cute.
And that's my sister. She's dressed as a witch.
Oh, that's what it is. Steven, do you have any memories from that day?
I feel like I got really sweaty inside that costume.
How you doing right now inside that costume?
I'm a little parched in here. But you know, it's cozy.
It's like pajamas. And show them what it has.
Oh, it has pockets.
Pockets!
All right. Thanks, Steven.
Thanks,
Good job. Steven!
We're gonna have him cut that whole part out, probably.
Steven! Oh, this is my favorite Murder the
Yes,
Podcast.
the comedy. Yes. Thank you.
This is Karen Kilgariff.
This is Georgia Hardstark. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, this
Get
is...
that out of here.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Please. It's just weird. You're being so good. We were really prepared for like insane, drunken screaming. Like, I'm a pirate, talk to me. Yeah, you can do it now if you want to.
Yeah, one now.
Get it out. We can't understand anything you say anyway when you scream. I think that's the thing people don't understand when they scream at us from the audience.
We can't hear what it sounds like you're yelling about leaves and trees and...
It's like, oh, there's an arborist here. That's rad. It's really strange, but thank you so much for being here. We're stoked.
Oh, we have a surprise rug from the Microsoft Theater.
Yeah, they made us a rug.
They made us a rug.
Look at it. Can you see it? You're too flat. Don't stand up. Look at it.
It says look and listen. It's gorgeous.
There's all decorations on the side. Oh, sweet shot. Is there a drone in here? How are they getting that shot? Oh, that's my doggy.
It's your dog and it's my cat.
She's gonna be livid. Look at it. I love that there's a telephone.
Call your dad. You're in a cult.
Got it.
It's like someone listens.
It's like they pay attention to it.
I know, we're not used to it. Usually we get to a venue and the grizzled old people who work there are like, what's a podcast? And then they're like, it's two women? And then they're like, there's so many women in the audience. And we're like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when they hear everyone screaming and they know that we sold out, they're like, you guys should come back. We love podcasts now.
We're changing everyone's mind.
Yeah.
One long talking show at a time.
It's just two women talking?
Why?
Should we sit down?
Is it time?
Yeah.
Look at these. These are fucking high-class chairs.
I mean, truly, never in the history of our live shows.
Also, this is like a backgammon table.
It's a little backgammon-y.
That's so classy.
We could play checkers or chess, I guess, while we talk. We could do so many things. Get yours?
Yeah, that shouldn't go in there.
All right. Oh, this is a true crime comedy podcast, everyone, just so you know.
They know.
They know. anyone who was, invited along because they had nothing to do on Halloween.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of drag-alongs tonight, probably.
They were promised dinner.
Welcome. Yes.
My mom's boyfriend, for example.
He's been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, he has.
He's a total MFM head. We always like to warn people, though, because it's staff or, partners or whoever, people that might not listen to the podcast, so they don't know what's happening or why. And so we just like to explain at the top that this is true crime combined with comedy, which some people actually take offense to, or they think that that's inappropriate, that you shouldn't talk about those two things together. And we do, and want to, because that's how we talk, and that's actually how most people talk about horrible things. Life is equally as horrible as it is wonderful, and you get to talk about it however you fucking want. So if you're offended, you can get the fuck out.
Thanks.
Doesn't really apply to this show where people really have busted their ass to come to the pay for parking.
Paid for parking, thanks to all you parkers out there. Big
all
ups.
the parkers.
Thank you.
Parking your ass off just for us.
Parking everywhere. It's just,
does anybody here come to LA Live just to chill out and
season pass holder?
just to see the lights at night?
I just love to get a bite at the Yard House. It's my favorite.
See my friends at the Yard House.
And then go up to Lucky Strike, pull a few.
Just fucking bowl with some superstars of LA. And I don't know, it's just, I can be myself at LA Live.
Yeah. It's like my level of parking payment is where I like it.
Yeah.
I know my car is safe.
Sometimes you put your credit card in and pay $2 for parking.
Yeah.
I want to pay $98 for parking.
That's right.
It's how I feel most myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go first or do I go first?
I think you do.
Is that right, Steven?
Steven, you're gonna have to.
I went first.
Steven's backstage stripped naked out of that dinosaur costume. Looking through our shit.
I have to say, too, that Vince, my husband / our tour manager / kind of Karen's husband, too, at this point.
A little bit. I get a touch of it. It's pretty nice. I'm looking into it.
He's been hiding his costume from me all week.
Oh.
So he said that he brought us out, and then he was like, I'm going to go backstage and get my costume. He gave me a warrant. Don't go and look in my closet. Don't open packages that aren't yours. So either he's hiding a body.
Yeah.
Or he's got a costume going on that I don't know what it is yet.
Is he going to come out when he feels like it?
Yeah, he'll come out when he, like he normally does, but he'll be dressed as God knows what.
Okay.
A little nervous, a little scared.
Well, I think it's perfect for Halloween.
Yeah. Okay.
Is anyone trick-or-treating in this audience tonight? Just going to walk around and beg for candy?
Someone was passing out candy?
They've set it up so that you can? Some ladies handing out candy. Don't fucking eat that candy.
Eat the candy.
How many times do we have to tell you people? Oh, a lady's giving candy. Are her eyes really close together? Does she have full eyebrows? What are you? Don't do that.
This isn't a safe place. This is not a safe space.
There's no safe spaces.
Don't you let your guard down just because you're amongst friends.
You know what we'll do? You can start at your first picture. We'll see who went first. Right. That's fun.
That's right. Okay. All right. So we decided to do interesting stories that are just about weird. It's Halloween. Listen, look.
We didn't want to
be
be restricted to the city. We wanted to develop out into the theme of what does Halloween mean to you?
And to me, it means the Satanic Panic.
Yes. Yes,
And
it does.
specifically, the daycare sex abuse mass panic of the McMartin trial.
Fuck. That's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
shit,
what I'm doing.
girl. Shit, girl.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. The majority of this, nay, all of this, I got from a great article from the website Vox by a woman named Aja Romano. So fucking great writing. I'm gonna just screw it completely up right now with my... Aja! All right, so everyone remembers the Reagan era, right, Karen? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like, we're living it.
A lot of red dresses belted right at the waist.
Yes.
Like if you had a boxy waist, you were fucked.
Truly. Shoulder pads everywhere.
Oh, just widen it out.
Get them up there.
Look like a scarecrow.
Well, it was also a time of population growth, urbanization, and the rise of a double-income family, meaning your mom had to get her ass to work. Right, Mom?
Janet!
She remembers that. Janet! That sucked! Okay. So it necessitated a lot more daycares to be open, and that was going on and everything. And it freaked people who were obsessed with nuclear families, fundamental religious people, lost their fucking shit over this. They were like, the family, think of the children and all this. And also at that time, there was this fear of the unknown. So that's when the children on milk cartons started, and stranger danger became this big thing. And the idea that evil was lurking around every corner, right?
It was crack, AIDS. Mm-hmm. It was not a good time.
That's right.
I was there for all of it. Oh, nuclear annihilation. Anyway.
And through it all, our good friends of the podcast, the Christian fundamentalists.
Sponsor of tonight's show.
That's right. And their literal belief in angels and devils. You guys know, they fucking literally believe in the devil, right? Okay, more on that later.
Excuse me.
What?
I totally believe in the devil.
No, you don't.
I think he is so special.
What if I just got hit by a lightning bolt right now? Strike her dead.
By the devil?
By the devil.
He doesn't do lightning bolts.
Okay.
That's the J-man upstairs.
I feel yeah.
Devil stuff would be like, all of a sudden my neck would go all the way back. Right? And you'd be like, are you okay? Is your neck? And they're like,
yeah, but that's also the symptoms of you having a seizure, yes or no?
Well, I am a witch, so that's where it's all from.
This whole time, we could have been having so much fun. Okay, so fundamentalist preachers like good friend of the podcast, Jerry Falwell, and his Moral Majority, they gained prominence across the country because they were preaching this literal fire and brimstone style of Christianity, fucking blah, 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 calm down, everyone. Enter...
They can't.
Enter the satanic panic. Everyone's favorite panic, I think.
I like manic panic.
Oh.
It's more fun for the hair.
Sure.
But we don't have to pick favorites right now.
Well, we kind of do.
Okay.
By the mid-'80s, a wave of, oh my God, amazing. Please go on YouTube later tonight and find the videos, seminars, tutorials, and educational videos aimed at authorities and religious fanatics, teaching them, like cops and therapists and preachers and born-again Christians, teaching them what to look for when dealing with Satanists. I have a photo from the law enforcement guide.
What?
Legit. This is from...
Oh, hello. Walking through the park. Whoa, oh my God.
This video is a fucking treasure, and I highly recommend you watch it. It's called The Law Enforcement Guide to Satanic Cults. This is fucking real. Also, that is not the right way to make a fucking pentagram. Yes or no? I'm not even a Satanist.
Yeah. Also, whose side is he on?
I know.
I
think he's on U2's side.
He's the first cop Satanist I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. You can trust him because he's got a fucking mullet.
He's Tom Petty's stuntman.
Why does Tom Petty need a stuntman? So many questions.
Remember the video where he cut the girl up because she was cake?
Yes.
That's going to be my reason.
I mean, truly amazing stuff. Okay, so everyone's losing their shit over Satan, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the media, of course, too, was like, let's get up on this and scare the shit out of everyone. Ratings jump, right? So it stokes the fuel and misconceptions surrounding occult practices. In 1988, our good friend Geraldo Rivera made a documentary that went on TV. It was called Devil Worship, and I need to say it in his voice. Devil Worship, Exposing Satan's Underground. It became the highest rated televised documentary to air up until that point. People were like, let Geralda tell me everything. I trust that mustache.
Yep. If anyone knows about the devil, it's that motherfucker.
That's right. And Vince, unprompted, told me that when he was a little kid when this came on, so he was like 10, he watched this documentary, it scared the shit out of him. The next morning he woke up with the flu and thought that the devil had possessed him.
Aww.
Like, that's essentially what it did to everyone in America, you guys.
Except for me, because I was so drunk, I didn't know what was going on. 88? Oh, that was my prime wine cooler time.
You had no time for Satan.
No, I was Bartles and James only.
Okay, and then, okay, all these accusations of satanic ritual abuse came around. They were attached to a string of daycare centers throughout the 80s because people got really into, I don't know, they just, listen, it's complicated.
There's lots of reasons.
So for some reason, daycares, they thought that they were bringing all these people who worked at daycares who were like, all I want to do when I grow up is take care of children. They thought that they were somehow trying to, I don't know.
Molest them?
Yes. Okay. So, thank you. That brought about the daycare sex abuse mass panic. And among the many prosecutions of satanic ritual abuse in daycares was the McMartin trial, which became the largest, longest, and at a price of $15 million in 1983 money, which today is
$2.3 million.
Thank you.
Oh, wait,
less.
I went down.
Well, it was the 80s, right? They were having a lot of money.
Damn it.
It was 100 million bags of cocaine in that money.
I got so nervous for stage math.
It's scary.
I panicked.
I'm sorry. You satanic panicked. Maybe it was Satan.
The devil made me do bad math. That's what it is. Lord.
Do a thingy.
Do it.
There you go. That's the one.
That's the Catholic one.
That's how you know. Okay. So it began in 1983 when a parent of a child who attended the McMartin preschool in Manhattan Beach, California. Oh, that's right.
Oh, tasteful. That was a tasteful yell.
Yeah. You know, right over there. A 39-year-old woman named Judy Johnson. Okay. She notices that her 2.5-year-old son had some issue. Listen, how do I say this? He had some butt troubles. Okay? He had an itchy bottom.
Got it.
The mom took him to a doctor to make sure everything was okay. The doctor's like, he's fine. And she was like, well, I'm obsessed with Satanism and I think something's going on.
I like Geralda Rivera.
Right.
So you're wrong, doctor.
So she insisted that there was something wrong with him and something going on, even though he also said there wasn't. I mean, he was 2.5 years old. How much can he say? You know, it's like...
He's like, Mom, my butt's fine.
Yeah. This is normal stuff. But she ignored the doctor, and on August 12th, she called the police to say that her son had been sodomized by a teacher at the McMartin preschool, the daycare he had been attending for 2 weeks. And by the way, it was a daycare... Okay, we're later going to find out that Judy Johnson has some mental issues.
Sure. We knew.
I know.
Yeah.
So she told the investigators that her son, her 2.5-year-old son, said that a McMartin teacher named Ray Bucky taught him to play doctor and forced him to wear women's clothes. Oh, the horror. And that he had been molesting him. And that he said that other parents had said similar abuse stories. So they listened to this woman, they believed everything she said. Ray Bucky is a 25-year-old. He is the only male teacher at McMartin. It's been around for 30 years. It's just really well-respected preschool. Everyone loves them there. In the 1995 HBO made-for-TV movie, Indictment, the McMartin trial, he's played by Henry Thomas, who is, as an adult, no, the teacher's played by him.
Right.
Who is...
The boy from E.T.
Yes.
What
It's
did
Elliot.
you think I
I
meant?
thought you meant like Elliot as a little boy played the little boy. Why did you say Okay, I get it.
Because it's Elliot? I don't know.
It's adorable.
Don't they make you say when you talk about E.T.?
I thought you were saying about the adult actor, and I was like, what? No.
You know what? It was the wrong response. Now that I think about it, I need to come back into my body and start doing better math and responding more accurately to what's being said.
Why?
I was thinking about how fucking boxy scrubs are, and like, this is like, you know how like Madewell is doing shirts right now that are like fucking 15 feet wide, and you're like, how am I supposed to wear that? I have tits. Like, it's just, I'll pay more attention.
Only if you don't mind.
If it wouldn't bother you.
Oh, may I?
I only typed this up and printed it up for you.
Oh, I only worked on this for 30 minutes. No, that's not true. We have a photo of our friend Ray Bucky. There he is. Obviously, that's him in trial, so spoiler alert. This goes to trial. Okay.
He's like, this fucking sucks.
Yes, that's not a happy face.
No.
So he was the grandson of the owner of the McMartin preschool. Her name's Virginia McMartin. She's 76 and played by Sada Thompson.
Sada
Thompson. I don't know.
She's from the theater. I don't know.
She had founded the school in 1966, and until this accusation, the school had a stellar reputation. So the same could not be said of Judy Johnson, the mother. She was a deeply troubled woman. She was an alcoholic with a history of mental illness, which I'm like, who among us isn't? But she was like problematic, you know what I mean?
Who among us? But like when you're drunk and a little fucked up in the head, you get theories, and then you're like, you know what, I'm gonna put this in my diary.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take this to the public right now.
Yeah. You know, Usain said, I'm going to scream this at everyone, and then they're gonna believe me. And at the time she was going through an ugly divorce, and so not only did she accuse Bucky of this molesting her son, she also accused her ex-husband, which didn't come to fruition. And in September, investigators set out to find more evidence against Bucky. They took him into prison, and before any files were charged or anything, they did a really rational, calm thing of sending a letter to 200 parents of children who were and have been students at the McMartin school.
Oh, like people who had graduated from preschool already?
Anyone who's ever been there, they sent them all a letter. And in it, they asked, among other things, they said, Ray Bucky's been arrested for potentially molesting a child. Calm down, don't worry, everything's fine. And then they said, quote, please question your child to see if he or she has been a witness to any crime or if he or she has been a victim. Our investigation indicates that possible criminal acts include, you guys ready for a fun list? Oral sex, fondling of genitals, buttocks, or chest area, and sodomy, possibly committed under the pretense of taking a child's temperature. Also, photos may have been taken of the children without their clothing. And then they were like, please keep this to yourselves. Please don't panic. I'm not fucking kidding. This is totally all happened. Go ahead.
I kind of couldn't understand. Was the first thing on that list horse sex?
No.
Because
oral.
Got you. Yes. No, I know what that is. I do.
We have a photo of it. No. Stop it.
All the lights go out.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That's MFM After Dark.
Look for us on Cinemax.
The letter also noted that the teacher might have forced the children to pose naked for pictures. I already said that. The message didn't at all send the parents into a fucking panic.
No.
I wrote.
It's at the end of that letter, it said, and maybe anything else you've ever feared in your life.
Yeah, the parents put it down and immediately started screaming in their child's faces, asking if they'd been molested, and the children were all reacted calmly and you know, I'm sure it went great. I said that they didn't make them scream, ask their children if they'd ever been molested. So immediately you have these parents who are in a panic and these children that they are scaring the crap out of who don't understand what's going on. And so the DA turned to Children's Institute International. This is an organization that works with abused children to interview the McMartins. They interview children who have been molested and that sort of thing. And so they hire them to talk to the McMartins students and see if there's any basis behind the accusations. Unfortunately, the Institute's head named Key McFarlane is this woman who's a little fucking crazy herself. So
because she was she got out of college and she was like, what do I want to do with my life?
Unfortunately, she didn't go to college.
Uh-oh.
She had a welder's certificate. That was the extent of her education. I'm not fucking kidding.
What?
Yeah, a welder's certificate.
Like in Flashdance?
Uh-huh.
That's hot. Why wouldn't she stay doing welding?
Who knows? That's how crazy she is.
Girl.
I know.
No, even Psych 101 shit.
Unlicensed psychotherapist had no psychological or medical training.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Problematic. Again, fucking the 80s need to go to jail.
Yeah, they did. They did.
But don't worry, she only had to examine and interview a handful of kids who had come forward after this letter came about. Only 400 children. Mm-hmm. So don't worry. So she and two other unqualified assistants were allowed to conduct their investigations. They famously used anatomically correct dolls, show me on this doll where the bad man touched you. And I think we have a photo of Kay. Let's see her photo. I think, yeah, that's problematic.
A bald eagle? Fuck.
That's the problem?
I'm just saying, it doesn't... Look at these monsters.
I know. And then she would do this thing where she'd be
What's that back there? Fuck.
Karen, there's nothing there.
What?
There's no face there.
There hasn't been a doll like that here in 25 years. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's my character. There hasn't been a blank like that around here. And now it's 25 years, which isn't that long ago.
No, it's not that long.
I don't know.
It's still one of my favorites. Followed closely by Drunk Karen.
She's here. She'll make an appearance tonight.
She's
don't
a special.
worry. And then I'm going to have a ladder rolled out and do my one-woman show. It's going to be so good.
Okay, so this fucking chick, and there's transcripts of it, where she's just like, hey, Billy, all your friends said that Mr. Bucky touched you. Are you stupid? I literally said, are you stupid, or do you know that this happened? I'm not kidding you.
No.
And the kids would be like, I don't think that happened. And they'd be like, well, I think you're lying to me, or are you just dumb? I swear. She was just berating them until she got the answer she wanted.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's absolutely right.
And was it the kind of thing of she's like, I need to do my work. No one else of a responsible adult gets to be in the room?
Well, everyone believed it. Everyone thought that this was really happening. I mean, everyone believed her.
And when she pulled out the bald eagle and crocodile puppets, no one was like, you know what? Let's take a pause and regroup in the conference room.
That's how they did childhood psychology and therapy back then, is you act shit out, but you don't lead the witness, who's a fucking 3-year-old child, into being like, yeah, you know what, now that you mention it, and hey, let me read you some of the shit that they ended up saying.
You also don't lead a child into just a fucking full-on insult to their face.
Right.
Dummy.
These extremely coercive interview processes led to false memories among children, meaning we all know here children are liars. No one has one here, right? Because otherwise we'd be home with them. Children are liars.
They love lying almost as much as they love Halloween candy. They're both delicious.
So, and then it led to highly fantastic claims of abuse directed at the entire staff at McMartin preschool. Out of 400 children,
preschool, high school,
the interviewers ended up coming out and saying that 359 of them had been abused.
Fuck.
Okay, All right, among the many outlandish claims the children made in the case were that the daycare owners would flush them down toilets.
Right.
into secret underground tunnels
Fun.
under this tiny little school that led them to transport them to ritual ceremonies. That
Cool.
teachers like ritually sacrificed animals in front of the kids, clubbed a horse to death with a baseball bat.
No.
No, don't worry, it didn't fucking happen. Calm down.
How did the horse get down the toilet?
How?
Seriously. Just
I mean,
someone ask one fucking question.
Number one question.
Number one, how small was that horse? Can I see that horse? Can I feed that horse a carrot? Because that's the cutest fucking horse of all time.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Even then, I don't think it would fit down a toilet. Like, let's think rationally, people.
let's think about toilets.
Yeah. Let's get one out here.
Come on.
out. That they sacrificed a baby in a church. So, like, in the middle of the day in preschool, they were like, kids, we're going to a church. We'll have you home by nap time.
Grab your cloaks.
It'll be fine. Made the children drink blood, and that the teachers dressed up as witches and legitimately flew through the air. So everyone's like, oh my God, I knew that fucking Jerry Falwell was telling the truth. Said no one ever. And took the kids to orgies at airports and car washes, which everyone knows is the best place to go for an orgy. Because you're just immediately clean walking through a car wash.
That's right. Is it like at the Southwest gate? How do you at the airport? How do you at the airport? Has anyone ever at the airport? How?
You know, when I'm my horniest is when I'm at an airport.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're like, look at it, Chili's too.
You know what I love? Satan. No. So, after 6, okay, I mean, this goes on so long, I'm not going to
Also, I just want to say, clearly they were led because there's so many ideas here that are not preschool level children ideas at all.
Right.
It's like, what 3-year-old talks about the fucking airport
Yeah.
at all?
One kid's like, I love a car wash. And she's like, you were molested at a car wash? And it's like,
What's
no.
that you say?
Yeah. But can I have candy? Okay, yeah. I'll do what you say.
Good job, dummy. It's the only part of the story I like.
So essentially, all these charges are dropped with the other teachers, but they're all brought. It's a 6-year fucking trial. 6 years of this while they're in prison the whole time, including. So it was only after a while. It was only Ray Bucky and his mom Peggy McMartin Bucky. Let me show you a photo of this fucking Satan worshiping psychopath. I mean, I know that monsters are hiding among us. You know, they look like us. They look like everyday fucking people. But I bet you anything she's not into Satan.
You know what she's into? Making you lasagna. That's all she wants to do.
Look at her Afghan that she's clutching at court.
Jesus.
If you bring an Afghan to court, there should be a rule that you're innocent immediately. Get out of here.
And you're like, see, I knitted it myself.
Yeah.
Ma'am, get me my gavel. I have to get you out of here. I'm glad I brought this stethoscope out here. It was a good idea.
It was worth it.
It was so good.
So, after 6 years of investigation and litigation, the case ultimately goes away due to a lack of utter evidence. The original accusing parent, remember our friend Jill?
I do.
She's eventually diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic.
Oh, no.
The investigation techniques used by the Children's Institute, our friend Key, were thoroughly discredited by the psychological community. After 6 years, finally in 1990, little old lady Peggy is acquitted, and Ray Bucky eventually had all charges dismissed as well. The jury was like, what have we been doing for 6 fucking years? These poor people.
Then they found out that the Children's Institute was just a spiral notebook that lady had in the back of her car. And she's like, I have ideas about fucking everybody's life up.
And toilets.
And toilet horses.
She was like, oops, this was supposed to be a novel, a fiction. I
Shoot.
fucked up and I brought the wrong notebook for 6 years.
She was supposed to write Harry Potter, but she fucked it up. She fucked it up. She got selfish.
Then they got lucky though, because this happened all over. I mean, think of the fucking West Memphis 3. It's the same thing with the Satanic Panic. And in fact, there were two owners, this married couple of a preschool in Oak Hill, Texas, who had similar charges brought against them, but they spent 23 years in prison before being released in 2013.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago, you guys. Despite no evidence ever found that they had done anything they'd been accused of.
I remember seeing that on, I think it was a 60 Minutes maybe, and it was, you could tell they purely did it because they didn't like the look of them. It was like, you could tell the people that were in charge were like, oh, get him, you know, that guy has long hair. It was that kind of thing.
Well, were they wrong? No.
Well.
I'm kidding. They were wrong. Okay. McMartin Preschool Building in Manhattan Beach was raised in 1990, and the satanic ritual abuse claims relied, essentially, that was found to rely on overzealous law enforcement, unsubstantiated?
What did you say?
Unsubstantiated statements from children and false memories implanted during therapy, and above all, coercive and suggestive interrogation by therapists and prosecutors. Again...
And car washes.
Yeah, shout out to Aja Romano from Vox for all her amazing information. And that is the daycare sex abuse mass panic of the McMartin trial.
Awful.
Sweating.
I mean, that was a sweaty one.
That was a sweaty one.
That was rough stuff.
Oh, sorry I keep doing that. Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to now tell you guys, great job, by the way.
Thank you.
That was very, very, very upsetting. Just like we like on Halloween. I'm going to tell you guys all about the mannequin at the carnival.
The what?
It's my new book of poetry, The Mannequin at the Carnival.
Okay.
This all takes place at an old amusement park in Long Beach called the Pike. Yeah. Either someone's from Long Beach or they're getting stabbed right now in the audience. That was blood-curdling, that scream. Although if you're from Long Beach, you would kind of blood-curdle scream for yourself, I would think. You got to. Okay. On the turn of the century, Long Beach. You know how I like to talk about the turn of the century.
Oh, Karen will not shut up about the turn of the century, Long Beach.
So the big thing to do in Southern California, obviously, was go to the beach. Long Beach had this big old pier. I think we have a picture. And they had a bathhouse called the Plunge.
Hell yeah.
Look at it.
Look at them.
So this is what people who are dressed from their neck all the way to the tips of their toes, they love to haul their asses on down to the beach and stand in the sun for hours.
Nothing is more fun than just slowly strolling in uncomfortable tiny shoes.
Yep. Corsets, and of course, everyone's wearing their funeral blacks. Important.
I bet everyone smells so bad.
Yeah. It's like powder and decay.
And BO.
And yeah. So there was a red car line that went from Los Angeles down to Long Beach so people could get out of the city for the day and then go down here and chill out on the beach because they can't go to the beach in LA. Anyway, don't think about it. So it gets so popular, they start adding, there's a carnival, concessions, rides, they string lights above the walkway.
Charming.
Right? They call it the Walk of 1,000 Lights. This was back when lights were a big deal.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like,
Electric light.
is it God himself? As its popularity grows, they build a midway that has now like the Seaside Studio souvenir photography studio, the Loof Carousel, Magruder saltwater taffy.
I mean, all the things that us here would just love to do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Saltwater taffy is gross and tastes bad. And then it rips all your fillings out.
And I bet back then they had like one flavor.
Yeah.
That was just sand.
It was like
sand flavor.
Alfalfa.
Yeah.
There was your favorite pitch and skill games, pony rides, goat carts, fortune tellers, a weight guesser. Shut up.
I know. Would you shut
You don't know it.
Yeah.
And a variety of of thrill rides, amusements, and attractions. Oh, here's this picture I found that I just kind of like. I don't know if it's an attraction or if it's, Stephen actually put Long Beach Trolley there as if that's the name of it, but I just called it a trolley because I didn't know what else to call it.
I like it.
Please don't anyone go and like write your thesis about the Long Beach Trolley. This is just another one of my lies. Okay. I think there's another one. One after this. No, there's going to be a bunch, Georgia.
Okay,
This
great.
story is mostly pictures.
Okay,
All right. The next picture, I think there's, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Look how rad that kid is.
That kid wants to fight me.
That kid is like, that kid saw the photographer and he was like, fucking come at me, bro. I'm filled with saltwater taffy and I'm going to kick your ass
Oh, my
right now.
God.
Look at him. He has 2 jobs and he smokes. Yay! And those are little flags, and that's where the lights are. That's the walkway of lights.
There's salty old Virginia.
She has got
just doing her thing in her
a full
uncomfortable
bottle
shoes.
of gin in her purse.
Totally.
Yeah. Where you want to go? The pier? Ugh. All right.
There's a penny. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Get out of here, kid.
Gary. His name's Gary.
It's Baby Gary.
Baby Gary.
Yay! All right. Then in 1930, they build the humongous roller coaster, the Cyclone Racer. Have you ever seen this thing?
No.
Okay, it's rad. This is the entrance. It's 100 feet tall.
Hard
it's
pass.
All made of wood. You know, no?
I don't want to go. Are you going to make me go on it right now?
Yeah, you have to. And can we do the wide of it? Because it went out, essentially. The next picture is the wide. It goes out
Holy
into
shit.
the sea.
Guys. No.
So what is your fear? Heights, we got you covered. The ocean, we've got you covered.
Yeah.
Weird deaths,
Yeah.
we're there.
Like early architecture that's made by like alcoholic hobos who like just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then like no licensing and
That's
no like
right.
checks and balances.
They were like, I like roller coasters, so I'm gonna build one, see?
Yeah.
Right over the ocean.
Yeah. Insurance. We don't need insurance.
Don't be crazy. It's all that little kid's idea.
Gary is such an entrepreneur.
More than a few drunken sailors who had gone down to the pier because there's lots of sailors stationed down in Long Beach, ignored the "Do Not Stand Up" sign.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, it's
right?
your special day.
If it's your day and you want to have fun your way, stand up on this insane roller coaster with no safety features whatsoever and die. So, it had dual tracks, hairpin turns, a skeletal frame that dangled out over the ocean, like myself. And by World War II, the Pike, the whole amusement area had grown to 15 acres. And then they added freak shows, they added arcades, shooting galleries, dance halls, bars, tattoo parlors. It was filled year-round with tourists and, quote, thousands of salty sailors stationed in Long Beach. Sorry, before I go any further, I got all this information from an article on Slate.com on a website called allthat'sinteresting.com. But it's just this story. No, just kidding. And then there's a guy named Charles Phoenix who has a website. You know that guy? It's all like retro stuff, and he kind of explains like, it used to be nice down here. Look at these pictures. So that the salty sailors quote is from his website. That's what reminded me. All right. So in 1950, they hold a contest to rename the Pike.
Okay.
Do you want to do a guess of like what's a better name for the Pike amusement park?
Drunk people everywhere.
That is good.
No.
They-
The fighting
The fighting?
wave tectonics.
Yes. How did you do that? They renamed it the New Pike. So
Okay.
That's that thing
Maybe
where
I should
like
have just called it Piker. Right? Piker.
like more than Pike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new Pike. Piker. Piker.
Well, you should have entered the fucking
Well,
contest
clearly.
then. That's the thing.
clearly.
That's the thing is they hold a contest and it's like the fishbowl is out on the desk and there's just that one piece of paper that says New Pike inside and they're like, any other people have ideas? Anyone. Seriously. Just say
Anything.
it could be like
Wave tectonics.
it could be wave tectonics.
Anything.
So by the 70s, this place turned into like this shitty rundown carnival that looked like somewhere you would not have a ride away from and then be like, oh, this is it for me. Do we have a picture of what it ended up looking like? After it was like 70s New Pike is pretty sad.
Cool. I like this shit.
Close your eyes and picture it in your mind. You're going to. Did I not have the New Pike? I might have skipped that one. Well, if it comes up, and Steven is fired. Anyway, this is where our story begins. I actually wrote that down because I was like, you're talking about this carnival so much, no one knows what's going on anymore. You're supposed to be doing a Halloween show where everyone's creeped out and spooky Halloween, and instead it's like Carnival Days in Long Beach. So, in 1976, they're filming The $6 Million Man at the New Pike.
Cool.
Right?
I think that was my mom. I swear to fucking God. Oh.
Look at that piece. Look at that hot piece right there. In his whip stitch jacket.
That is a motherfucking button nose if I've ever seen one.
Oh, he's just a precious man, that's all.
Okay.
God, that guy, he was like, when I was growing up, because this show was on from 74 to 78, I think, and this is just like some of my most baseline memories, is like, oh, it's my mom and my dad, and fucking that guy in the background. Oh, wait, he was everywhere. He was humong. Okay, so just if you don't know, you're like, I'm a millennial and I won't pay attention to anything before 1999, then I'll tell you, this was a television show. This is what we watched before YouTube. And it ran from 74 to 79. It was about a former astronaut named Colonel Steve Austin, who was played by Lee Majors. That's him. Very talented man. He had been given superhuman strength because the government had given him bionic implants. So
It's a fucking true story, too, you guys.
It is. They just don't want you to know about it.
Yeah. He just wasn't super hot, the guy that they actually did it
No,
to.
he was kind of plain. Steve Austin could run super fast, but you knew that because he was running in slow motion. And then there was like a machine sound that they laid over the top of slow motion running, and they were like, God, he's so fast.
And that was CGI back then.
Yes. Just some layers.
Yeah.
And then he also had one like real weird eye, like just a real sharp eye. TV.
Bionic. He's bionic. Don't worry about it.
One time, Steve Austin met up with Bigfoot. Do we have that next picture? Yeah, he did. Look at him.
Holy shit!
I mean, like 74 to 79, it's a long fucking time. Like that 5th season writer's room, they're like, we did the thing where he fought against Russian spy. We did that already.
Did he ever meet up with, and I remember this happening, like this was a rule that had to happen on every show, the fucking Harlem Globetrotters? You ever have to team up with them?
They're all inside this Bigfoot suit.
God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is actually one of a very distinct memory I have because when, I don't know if they were fighting or if they were just having fun in the forest, but Bigfoot like was throwing huge logs. I mean, we had no choices back then in our entertainment. We're just like, no, I love this. I want a lunchbox with this on it. Motherfuckers. And now our story begins.
Okay.
So they're shooting an episode of The $6 Million Man at the New Pike Carnival. And it's an episode where, for some reason, Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, goes on a spooky funhouse ride.
Sure. That's dignified.
Yeah. You know how, like, government operatives, when they're fighting crime,
Sometimes.
go on a funhouse?
Yeah.
To do so?
Yeah.
Perhaps he was chasing a criminal that also wanted to have fun real quick.
Sure.
Before he got away.
Absolutely.
So they actually went on a real ride from the New Pike, and it was called Laugh in the Dark. And I think we have a picture of it. This is one of the only things, look at it, left over.
Wow.
Yeah, that's real.
Okay.
And it was really there.
Okay.
And it's the kind of thing where just like the Children's Institute, you're like, somebody made this up. And it's not a good idea. Laugh in the Dark is dumb.
Yeah.
It's a bad name.
Yeah, and it's not spelled right.
It's not spelled right. And it doesn't look fun, funny, or scary. It just looks like, it almost looks like where the bathrooms should be. Okay. Picture, if you will, the prop man from the $6 Million Man has to go into Laugh in the Dark and look at all the shit that's been stuck in there and be like, okay, well, if the shot goes through here, we're going to be looking at this, 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 and this. Is this what we want? Or do we actually bring in things that are interesting looking? And so as he does that, it says, in the ride, there's a tunnel where various ghosts, ghouls, skeletons, and demons pop out at you as your car is jerked side to side in the dark.
Sounds fun.
I mean, you know what it'd make you do? L-A-F-F, laugh. That's for sure. So the prop guy is fixing shit up. He sees there's a mannequin hanging from a noose in the corner. So he probably was like, I don't know if the kids will love that. Now that we've got the Bigfoot crowd following us,
Sure.
we might want to take the noose out of the shot.
Yeah.
He goes up to grab the mannequin, and he ends up pulling its arm off. And then when he looks at the arm, there's a bone inside of
Oh, no.
it. Spooky Halloween! Not only a bone, but tissue-like flesh around the bone.
Gross.
So he puts that arm down very gingerly, and then he proceeds to scream for 11 days in the dark.
It stays there. He
Just
stays there.
right in the dark, screaming.
11 days.
Where did I go? Oh, that's right at the bottom of the page.
Wow.
Scream. Oh, I put screams for 11 years. Days is funnier. Years is too long. We have to edit on the fly. We have to know that everything is fixable. Who's she? That's the opposite of drunk Karen. I hate her. Okay, prepare yourselves. If you brought like a baby or something, turn it away.
Oh my God, seriously?
This is what was found.
Oh, shit. No.
In the dark.
How? Why?
See where the arm was broken off?
Yeah.
That's how it was hanging.
No.
When the guy still thought it was a mannequin over there.
No, that looks... No.
No, right?
I don't-
The answer is yes or no.
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 I don't
Okay.
want to go on this ride either, please. Are you going to make me go on this ride?
Yeah, you have to. No, you have to.
That's horrible.
Also, I can't tell if somebody photoshopped it red, which if you did, hats off to you, because it makes it, that picture's awful, and it looks like something that'd be like a creepypasta you're reading, where you're
Yeah.
like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
A child wrote this, and then that would be the picture underneath the article. This, on the other hand, well, that looks like tandoori chicken, which is...
Delicious.
It's scary in a different way.
Oh.
It's scary it's heightened. Okay.
Oh my God.
So here's what's happening. It turns out the mannequin was Elmer McCurdy, an Old West outlaw who died in a gunfight with police 65 years earlier.
Holy shit.
Right? In 1911, Elmer McCurdy, the mischief-making vagabond. That's the best nickname of all time. It's super long. You can't remember it. He robbed a train in Oklahoma, and then he took his $46 and bottle of whiskey.
Which at that time was...
$17,000.
That's right.
And he fled to Kansas. When the police found him, he hid in a big haystack, because this is a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And they start a shootout. He says, "You'll never take me alive." And they're like, "Sounds great, it's a deal." And they kill him, and then his body is taken to a funeral home. It sits at the funeral home. No one ever claims it. So the undertaker, who saw, it's 1911, so he's like, I need money. We all need money. This is the Wild West. So what he does is he puts Elmer's body out in front of the funeral home, still in his casket. And the setup is, you can come look at him if you put a nickel in his mouth. Do we have the picture?
No. You have a photo? What?
Go right up. Go right up, little girl. What's wrong?
He looks like Ted Bundy, kind of.
Well, no, I see how you think he's cute.
I did not. I never said. I didn't. Oh my God, that is terrifying. Man, you try to live your life as a bank robber or whatever with respect, and you end up being a fucking bank for children.
Yeah. Not cool.
That's not cool.
But it doesn't end there.
Okay.
Because that goes on for a while. And then in 1915, two guys from a carnival come and say they're Elmer's brothers, and they're there to take him away to be buried.
I don't believe him.
And the Undertaker's like, oh, okay. And then he opens up his butt and all the nickels fall out. Stop it. Stop it. That's not funny.
It's like a
Don't say that.
gumball machine.
How else do you get the nickels out? Like, what's the thinking?
We were all
What was he
wondering.
gonna do?
Yeah, we wanted to know.
How'd you get them nickels? So the two brothers aren't real brothers, they're other carnival owners, and so Elmer then becomes an attraction at their traveling carnival, and he's displayed as the bandit who wouldn't give up.
Jeez, this sounds like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yes. There should definitely be a big stacked up sandwich somewhere
Yeah.
in this. Oh,
You eat in one bite. Yeah.
How did he do it? He was so thin, and he could eat all the tall sandwiches he wanted.
So jealous.
I hate Shaggy. Okay. So, when the body is considered no longer in mint condition,
Oh, sorry.
there's always these beauty standards that we have to live up to. Oh. They change the act, and he then is displayed as the 1,000-year-old man.
Great.
Yeah,
The hits keep coming.
yeah. Carl Reiner's like, that was my idea. Thank you. Someone listens to comedy records from the 40s. I'm not alone anymore. This goes on for 60 years. Yes.
No,
Them
too
just
many.
displaying this man willy-nilly at carnivals, wax museums, haunted houses, and then he finally ends up at Pike's Amusement Park, where they applied a nice coat of paint to him.
Great.
And they hung him in Laugh in the Dark. They thought whatever you call authorities believed that he was hanging there for 4 years before he was discovered. They took his body back to Oklahoma and buried him in 1977, which we have a picture of.
Is it going to be his
So all the-
body? Oh, great.
Yeah,
Finally.
That's nice. Although, after they buried him, they did pour an extra slab of concrete over his casket so he wouldn't get out and wander about again.
You guys, that doesn't happen.
And also, he didn't do it in the first place. They did it to him.
Right. He
It's
wasn't
not-
like, you know where I want to go next?
And he's like, no, you stay down there. I'd love to, motherfuckers. I wanted to do this 65 years ago. And that's the story of Elmer McCurdy, the mannequin at the carnival.
Amazing.
I found that one so long ago.
I'm so happy for you. No, I really.
I'm so happy for you.
No, that was a good one.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
With America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh, you'll get easy, seasonal recipes and pre-measured ingredients delivered right to your door. All you have to do is cook and enjoy. HelloFresh makes cooking delicious meals at home a reality. From step-by-step recipes to pre-measured ingredients, you'll have everything you need to get a wow-worthy dinner on the table in about 30 minutes. Say goodbye to endless grocery store trips and takeout. HelloFresh has you covered. There's something for everyone, from family recipes to calorie smart and vegetarian, and fun menu series like Hall of Fame and craft burgers. HelloFresh has more 5-star recipes than any other meal kit, so you'll know you're getting something incredible. HelloFresh is flexible and it fits your lifestyle. Easily change your delivery days, food preferences, and skip a week whenever you need. Break out of your dinner rut and make deliciousness part of every week with HelloFresh. I love that even though HelloFresh is super easy and they make it really basic and like straightforward, you still feel like you're cooking this like incredible home cooked dinner. And that makes me feel good about myself. And that instead of just ordering takeout, I'm actually making something and preparing something at home. And that just, it feels good. So for $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/murder80 and enter murder80. It's like receiving 8 meals for free only at HelloFresh.com/murder80, promo code murder80. Go buy.
Do we have time for a costume contest?
It's a costume contest. You want to see?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Here we go. Oh my God.
It's time. I'm dressed as Elvis.
Yes, you are. Vince Averill, everybody, tour manager. Vince Averill.
Vince, if I hadn't already married you, I would marry the shit out of you
Just
right
for this?
now. Yes, truly.
Real quick, the Bigfoot on $6 Million Man, Andre the Giant.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Double
I love
marry.
him. Double marry. Now it's a double wedding, me and you and him.
Trick or treat, ladies. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Oh my God.
He's also in character as Elvis.
I know.
He's not just
But
wearing the
our,
outfit.
Our cat is named Elvis, guys, for anyone who's new. Get it?
So Vince went around and pulled some of interest costumes out of the audience. If you're sitting there with your perfectly put together girl from the ring and you're like, mine's better, it might be.
Yep, you're probably right.
we just wanted to highlight some efforts.
Yeah. Just a couple of cool people.
Why are we so defensive about the costume contest?
You all look great, by the way.
You really do. Thank you so much.
Those of you dressed up, where are they, Vince?
They're all backstage.
Oh. That
Just
was
chilling
so
out.
Cute, cause get it? My cat's Elvis.
I do. It's like a play on words.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And it's
very
so not
smart.
like him. I'm just really happy about that.
Yeah, he doesn't take big swings. He's a very low-key person.
Yeah. And with the gesturing, I don't know what we're waiting for right now. He's fired, clearly.
Yeah. Everyone's fired tonight at the entire Microsoft. You know, today, when I was driving to work, there was a girl wearing a really tight Rogue costume. She was dressed as Rogue, but like in real latex, I think. Or like, it was just this thing, and she had the hugest butt. And so as I drove by, I was like, yeah! It's like, on Halloween, you put it out there, and if you're gonna put it out there, you should be supported by other big-butted girls, I think. Put it out there. People like it. They love it.
I love it. All right, let's get Vince pick these costumes. Let's see what he's brought out.
What should we got?
All right.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
You look amazing. What's happening?
It's Lilu.
Hey.
Nice to meet you guys.
What's your name?
Hi.
My name's Jessica, but I'm also the Supreme
Hi,
Being.
Jolie.
You say it again?
I'm Jessica, but I'm also the Supreme Being.
The Supreme Being.
Yeah.
That's right. I thought the Supreme Being was that lady that sang opera.
Nope.
It's Lilu.
Me.
I'm going over here.
I protect you.
Oh, wait a second. It's
It's
two-parter.
Ruby Rod.
What's your name? Katie.
You look
Katie,
amazing.
nice to meet you. It's Katie.
You're such a little peanut. I love it.
I'm a peanut.
Oh, there she is. It's the Notorious RBG.
Notorious RBG.
Amazing.
Yeah. What's your name?
Thank you.
Great
Nice
job,
one.
you guys.
Good job.
Thank you for dressing up. You
Yeah.
look incredible. That's her Wednesday.
It's just my Wednesday outfit.
Yes.
So happens to be
I love it. Cool.
I don't know. What do you guys want to do now?
I was just gonna stand here for the rest of the night.
Okay, cool.
It's my bedtime, but I mean, it's
Is there a contest?
Well, I think you guys all three already won.
Here I have.
Oh, what you got? Georgia's got some prizes for
I have
you.
I can't take candy.
some.
You
She
don't,
can't
it's
eat
not candy. Relax,
love it.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg, for Christ's sake.
Here, I'm gonna give you my pin because I didn't bring 3.
The pin off your jacket? Oh, because you only have 2?
Here you go.
Good job,
Guys,
everybody.
Good job. Thank you.
Yes.
Good job, everyone. Give them a hand. Thank you.
I think that's it.
Thank you so much. I do have to give a shout out to my girlfriend Lisa. She's the
Hi, Lisa. Oh, is you a hanger-on?
a little bit. I'm trying to become a murderino.
Get out.
You're too late. Too late. Good job.
Hi, what's your name?
John,
John, where the fuck were you?
lost.
Really?
I have no idea where to go.
Did you have to get up here by yourself?
Well, no one said my name.
Oh, that's because you didn't get picked. God, Halloween is tough sometimes, isn't it? Do you have another pin for John?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
What you got?
My food?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Give my hand.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Here.
Good job. We didn't really have a plan.
No.
we just bring it around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks, you guys. You can just go get lost, kind of wander backstage.
Yeah.
And I
Go
think
through
there's
my
some.
purse.
There's hockey next door.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh.
He's dressed as a serial killer.
Is there? Let's see. Uh-oh. It's fucking Ed Kemper.
Oh my
You
God!
guys, it's Cameron Britton. Cameron Britton from HBO's Mindhunter is here. Right?
We had a reason for doing that. It was a big mess. Here, come sit down with us.
Yeah. How'd you like our costume contest, Cameron? Pretty good?
Hello. It was great. This is my version of my own costume.
It's
not great.
It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't have tennis shoes on, like New Balance on the day. But this was what I auditioned in. This was the shirt.
Is that true?
Really?
Yeah, this is it.
How many times did you have to audition?
I auditioned 6 times.
Really?
I know. And they told me that no one else had to, so I don't know. Nobody else. Jonathan Groff was like, no, I did it twice. And now.
Wow. Maybe they just wanted to see you act more.
Yeah.
Did you know who Ed Kemper was when you went in?
No, I had no idea.
You didn't?
No, but I could tell by the script that I was sent. I was only sent a few pages. There's something about it just didn't seem like it was made up by a writer. It seemed like quotes.
Yeah.
So,
very grounded.
Yeah.
Very grounded
so
writing.
I just got a feeling. I typed Ed Kemper into YouTube, and I went down a rabbit hole. Of a long time. I'll never forget. Like we went that night. You know, I did a self-tape, and then we went to a bar in North Hollywood, and my friends and I were talking about, like, okay, I just had this audition. This guy really did, and I like went through the list of all the things he did to his mom, and like we're all just drinking, like, oh my God, that's the craziest thing. And then I was like, you guys, I got a call back for that. And they're like, really? And then I was like, you guys, I got another call back for that. And they're like, that's great. And I was like, you guys, I got another call back for that. And it just kind of kept going over 6 weeks.
Wow. But then it ended up that you got an Emmy nomination for that role that you did.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good feeling, right?
Yeah, it was pretty emotional, actually. This was my first guest star at 31, and it's led to being here talking to 7,000 people.
Look at it. This could all be yours. This could all be yours.
And we had the Emmys there, and I sat right down there.
Wow. Oh, yeah, the Emmys were here.
That's right, because they held them here.
I was right next to Jane Lynch. We were.
The Emmys were a practice for this show.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't get on stage that night, but I'm here now, so I'm on stage.
That's right. And we're giving you our version of an Emmy.
Oh, the Steffi.
So how long did you have to, because you played Ed Kemper so beautifully that it made me a little terrified of you when I met you earlier.
Yeah.
Because it was so good and real. How long did you have to like practice being the biggest creep?
Well, TV never rehearses, but we rehearsed. We rehearsed a lot, actually. We discussed it a lot, and I had a few months before the first shoot, which we shot it in order, and then maybe a few months later I did the next one. Finally, so it was 9 months in character. I just kind of passed up auditions and stuff.
Wow.
So I just focused on him for 9 months, which in TV, again, as a guest star is impossibly rare. And that's the show, you know. If anyone there hasn't seen it, it goes all out in making it as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I love Hannibal Lecter, but it's so over the top. This is much more grounded.
Well, because they're real people. I mean, it's that thing where we read these stories and we talk about the facts of these cases that are so, you just can't believe, a guy cut his own mother's head off and buried her in the backyard facing the house. It's like shit where you're like, what? But then it's like, it's a real person. It's a real person that did that.
Yeah. I still can't believe. It's weird because, like Stalin murdered millions of people, but still, like, if you cut your mom's head off and you have sex with it, we're still like, what?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
No, you didn't. And then he's 6'9" and his IQ is like 145. I mean, the guy's just...
Did you have to... You're not 6'9".
I'm 6'5".
I mean, I didn't mean that as an insult.
No.
Plenty tall.
No.
But did you have to wear heels?
I did, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
High heels?
It was boots with high heels on it. And then, I mean, those hurt like hell. Like,
yeah, they fucking do.
Yeah.
Finally.
Try it at 300 pounds, girls, okay? But a lot of that stuff, like I took my shoes off, so not to take you out of the moment, but if you're watching the show and my feet are under a table, there's a good chance I have no shoes on. I'm just chilling back,
Hippie Ed Kemper.
Secrets of Hollywood.
Right.
You know what's really funny too is that, like, talking to you, it's not totally dissimilar. It's not like this, but when you were Ed Kemper, there was no light in your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You were the most dead-eyed reptilian person.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
It's not. That's crazy.
I worked really hard on that dead-eyed thing.
You turned that light out real good.
Christian Bale talked about he based a lot of American Psycho off of Tom Cruise because he noticed that his smile never reaches his eyes.
Whoa.
That was his thing. So there is a way, actors. You can practice just killing your eyes.
Oh my God. We should start a Hollywood gossip podcast.
Absolutely.
The three of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's start.
Right here tonight.
Oh my God.
Russell Crowe and Dakota Fanning went out, and no, I doubt they did ever.
Were you have a hometown murder story, right?
I do. The hometown murder story. It's an old family secret that my grandmother didn't know that she had two uncles until she was 18 years old. It was so secret. But all the people involved are dead now, so they don't care. So I'm going to tell you.
Those are the best ones. The best ones. You can make the most jokes on those ones.
Let's talk about the dead.
So let's go back to 1897.
Yes.
This house was built on this property my family still has. We still camp on it, but at that time it was sheep herding country.
Where is this?
This is in Cazadero, California, which you may know. There's no way. There are, to this day, 400 people living in the town itself.
They're not here tonight.
They're all here tonight.
They're all here.
Yes, even the mayor.
We could all become our own army and just take over Cazadero, all of us in a whim. So it's this is even further up north than that. This is way out in the woods of Northern California. And my great-grandfather grew up in this house, and he'd ride a mule to school and everything. I'm not kidding. So when so his two older brothers, Don and James, James murdered Don. Spoiler alert. James was, he had a complicated birth, so they think he had a lack of oxygen. So he had like the mind of like an 8-year-old, and his mother, Anna, brought him to a mental institution and brought him in and looked around and then decided, no, it's not right for him, which is, unfortunate because sometime later, Don and James were down at the barn and we're really not sure on the dispute. We think Don was heading to San Francisco, and that made James jealous because in that day, just going to San Francisco was amazing.
It's a big deal.
It was just like, oh, you're the coolest guy I've ever met.
That's how it was in my town, too, when I was growing up. Wait, how old were the boys?
They were in their 20s at this point, but my great-grandfather's the younger brother. He was like 7. So I'm whispering.
I know, it's scary. Gather round, everyone.
God, you guys. So then, they're having a dispute, and James was known, the children were all scared of him growing up for these violent outbursts he'd have. And they got in a dispute, and he grabbed the axe off the barn door, and he murdered Don. And Anna, the mother, heard it and ran down to the barn and found James covered in blood. And then when my mom tells it, she goes, and it's really upsetting for James because he was a clean freak. That wasn't really like, I don't know if you need the icing on the cake. Like, also, he was upset because of his brother's blood on him. It's sticky, you know. But Anna is kind of a baller. I still can't believe that she would do this. She said, I got it handled. And she stayed with James alone in this wilderness with her son, who just murdered her other son, and she sent George, my great-grandfather, at 7 years old, to the nearest house to get help, and that was 2 miles away in the dark, in the woods.
In the dark.
In the woods.
In the dark, in the woods.
So it's like a bad day, and then it's like a really bad day. So, it's not great. And thankfully, he doesn't remember much of it. But James went to a mental institution, and he died there. And my grandma never knew until she was 18. And then 4 more people died of, old age or just the stuff that people died of all the time in the day. And in that house got very haunted. My mother's seen ghosts in there. And then we would go camp and sleep in this house. And we'd be like, we want to go to Disneyland. And she'd be like, no, we're going. You got to remember your history. And we're like, but our history's horrifying.
Don't remember your history.
Don't remember your history. You can learn nothing. And so that's really it.
Jesus.
What more do you want?
I mean, people.
Layer upon layer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. And do you think, did you bring a little James into the Kemper characterization?
I don't know. Maybe he's in there.
Maybe he's in there right now.
You know what was in there was Robert California from The Office. Again, not to ruin it, but it wasn't like I was like, and a little Robert California, like sprinkling. It just happened, and then James Stewart. I just felt like there was a little bit of a polite polish.
Yes, the formality. You're right.
And then a lot of my dad.
Who is Ed Kemper, right?
Yeah.
Now
that's another homecoming story.
Spoiler alert.
Day.
What's next for Cameron Britton?
Yeah.
Oh, Girl in the Spider's Web comes out November 9th.
Ooh.
Claire Foy's the best. She's everything you'd hope she'd be. And then, so February 15th, a new Netflix show called Umbrella Academy comes out.
What's that about?
That one is a comic book series brought to live action. Mary J. Blige and I play 2 assassins.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Give it to me now.
It's me and Mary J. Blige traveling through time. And assassinating the good guys.
Did you win
the 2
the lottery?
twins from The Shining are walking.
Oh, they're so upset they have to leave. You upset the twins from The Shining.
Oh, I'm not playing with you forever and ever and ever.
They're not there. What are you talking about?
I don't see any twins from The Shining.
Bye.
And we can't talk about whether or not you're on the next season of Mindhunter, but you can tell us one thing about someone else who's on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I found out that they'll have Charles Manson as an interview.
You heard it here first, kids.
The same actor is actually playing Manson again in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So this guy is like so good at it. He's Australian.
Whoa.
And they got the makeup artist from The Darkest Hour who just won an Academy Award. So this dude looks like Manson. And then they'll cover the Atlanta child murderers.
Wow.
Creepy.
Yeah, so you're going to see Holden Ford, not just do studies. He's going to be in the field practicing and trying to actually catch bad guys.
And we're going to see a little of that BTK, right? Because that was got laid in real subtle.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is people who don't follow true crime and they would watch Mindhunter and then go, "Who's the guy with the mustache?" Really upset, and I'd be like, "It's BTK. I don't know. I knew it immediately, but whatever."
Type in Wichita, Kansas, and then serial killer, and then go down another rabbit hole.
Just keep going down those rabbit holes.
Goodbye.
When he got arrested, because he sent a floppy disk in 2001. Did you guys cover him?
BTK? I think I did.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So he sent in a floppy disk to the cops, and he said, will you guys be able to pull up deleted files? And they said, no. no, we can't do that. And then they pulled up deleted files and they found him and they pulled him over and the cop said, you know why I pulled you over? And Dennis Rader said, I have a pretty good idea. And that's the story.
Oh my God, what a creep.
I cannot wait for Mindhunter. And we thought of this, of having you, and then we're like, because it was truly like dream idea. And the fact that you said yes and that you're here with us tonight is so awesome.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Absolutely.
So exciting.
Thank you guys so much.
Cameron Britton, everybody. Yay, celebrities. He went straight up in the air.
Oh my God.
He has a lot of ballet training. We have another guest.
We have one more guest.
Yes. It's very exciting. It's Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline.
Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline. Come on out here.
Come on out. We have to rehearse our cues.
We're not good at this.
Look, it's Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline. I said that too fast.
It was good.
Here, come sit here. Let's pull our chairs back a little.
You know, if you work for Dateline, you dream about one day sitting in the chair that Ed Kemper sat in. Yeah.
The voice, you guys, it's Josh Mankiewicz's voice.
Okay, all I'm going to tell you about the voice is that when I started in this business, which was before either of you were born, I worked for a different network. I will not identify that network, but its initials are ABC. And they sent me, because I had this voice, they sent me to something like $50,000 to $100,000 worth of voice coaching lessons to get me to sound like every other announcer on the radio. And I did my absolute best. But I tried, but it didn't work. This is the voice I went in with. This is the voice I came out with.
I love it.
Well, we're glad it works for us.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, Dateline, you guys have followers that have a name for themselves, right?
You mean like murderinos?
Well, yeah. Aren't there Dateline heads or something? Dateline.
On Twitter. There's a group called Dateline Divas.
Yes.
Yeah, there may be some of them here today.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a big community, not tremendously unlike this one. Devoted and they know all the details of the stories. Like, people come up to me in airports and they inevitably say two things. One is they say, I was watching Murder at the Crossroads and I fell asleep. What happened?
Oh my God.
You're just supposed to tell the rest of the case.
Clearly, I've put millions of Americans to sleep.
It's the voice.
Yeah, they're out. And the other thing is they say to me something that they saw not on Dateline, but where Dateline gets repurposed on ID or one of the other channels that it runs on. And they say, they talk about a murder from like 6 or 7 years ago. They go, okay, the guy who killed his wife. I'm like, I'm going to need a little more than that. Yeah. And then eventually we figure it out. But
I always think when you guys are interviewing, like, you know how sometimes you interview the husband because he's claimed that he's innocent, that whole thing. Like, have you ever had an experience where you're interviewing one of those people and it's like creeping you out, or you have to take a break, or like,
you know, they're full of shit in some way?
Well, frequently you know that they're full of shit, but which we can't really say on Dateline. You know, first of all, frequently by the time we're talking to someone who's the accused murderer, they're either the accused murderer, or by the time we're talking to them, they're the convicted murderer. But, you know, we try and talk to everybody in the story, and everybody gets their say. That doesn't mean that I don't get to poke holes in whatever their defense was. But usually by the time people are sitting across from me, they are on their best behavior, because they're trying to, you know, this is all a big conspiracy. My wife's family is out to get me. I'm really not guilty. So usually they're not scary. Now, there was a guy last year in Montana whose girlfriend disappeared and has not been found. Yeah, shout out to Montana with all those places to hide a body. Yeah. Congratulations. And she's never been found. And we were speaking with him, and he was locked up at this point. And he got very angry that I was questioning his version of events. And he started yelling at me. And normally they're shackled, and normally, like, if we're on camera, like right there is some big corrections officer. But in this case, they were sort of out in the hall, and he wasn't actually shackled. And I thought to myself, this guy's gonna kick my ass, because he's a lot bigger than I am, and a lot younger. But then he, I think, realized that was not gonna be the preferred part of the correctional experience, and he did not, and he calmed down, and then he got up and left, and then we got him to come back, and it worked out okay. But no, I mean,
turns out he was
creeped
innocent.
out, no, and right, and afraid for my safety, probably only that one time. But most of the time, like, you're talking to somebody and you either know or believe that the story they're telling you is not true, but you're sort of more interested in the give and take of the interview.
Yeah. It is great when they think they're getting away with lying, or like that they really are, look.
Right. I'm so smart.
Yeah.
I'm going to convince you. Is there a case that's either your favorite or least favorite, or the one you get asked about the most?
The one I get asked about all the time is the murder of Tom and Jackie Hawks right here in Southern California, off the coast by Newport. I'm sure you know this, many of you know this story. A guy wanted to steal their boat. They'd put it up for sale, and he persuaded them to take him out on essentially a test drive. He brought along a friend of his who was a gang member that he'd hired off some corner, I think in Long Beach, and they again, shout out to LBC, and
they know. The LBC knows who they are.
And they took him to the Gap to dress him in a way that made him look inoffensive. Yes. The Gap's not like a sponsor of yours or anything.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So,
pick up some socks this week. It's 3 for $5.
So they took this gang member to the Gap, and then these people let him on the boat, and they ended up paying for it in a horrible way. And that's the story I get asked about all the time. And all the people involved, they're locked up now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's so creepy.
Hate those ones that are the cold case ones. What was your first, can you remember the first one that you ever reported on?
The first murder?
Yeah.
Brianna Dennison in Reno, Nevada. I'm still in touch with her mom.
Really?
All these years later,
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you end up, if you're doing this, or at least if you're doing it right, you end up sort of staying in touch with these people in your life, because you spend a lot of time with them over a very short period of time, and you end up becoming very close to them sort of as you talk about their story, because you're talking about the thing they're never going to get over.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this myth that locking people up is somehow makes everything okay for the families. It doesn't. And so you end up getting much closer to these people than maybe you otherwise might. And so I'm still in touch with a lot of these people. And that was a terrible story.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Like all of them.
And that was in I think 2006, 2007, by which time I'd already been at Dateline 10 years, but we didn't start doing true crime until then.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you want to plug anything? What's coming up next?
Well, let's see. I have like 3 or 4 things in production right now, but I don't know when they're going to be on the air.
Are any of them with Mary J. Blige?
None of them.
Okay.
I can't say.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, that would be inappropriate.
Yeah.
This Friday is a great story in South Carolina that's reported by Andrea Canning. The story that took place, I think, in 2013, like 2 or 3 different trials. And, the stories that at Dateline, we always try and sort of draw a line in between the story, which is extremely sad, and the storytelling, which can be kind of fun. And we don't say, here's a story about a guy who was accused of killing his wife, but it turned out to be the next door neighbor. Now stick around for 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? We draw it out, as you know. So the hardest stories to tell are the ones in which the obvious suspect ends up being the guilty party. This is not one of those stories. There's a bunch of different places to go with the narrative, and Andrea Canning does a great job with it. So that's this Friday on Dateline.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, we've been Twitter friends with you for so long. I'm so glad we finally got you on.
I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much. And I fly around the country all the time doing these stories, and now when I fly around the country, I'm listening to the two of you.
What?
Josh.
Come on!
You guys, amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Josh
Thank you,
Mankiewicz,
guys.
everyone.
Josh Mankiewicz from Dateline, everybody.
Good job.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy Halloween him off the stage. Oh my God.
You guys, we did it. We Halloweened.
You got. I can't believe what an incredible audience you guys have been. You were triple the size we're used to talking to, and you were twice as quiet as any. I mean, in my mind, I was backstage telling Georgia, who was just like, look, they're going to be talking the entire time. You have to get ready for that. You need to be prepared. That's all I do to her
We'll start
all
by
day
telling
long.
them to shut up, and we'll yell at them. I bet the bar lines were really long, and everyone couldn't get shit-faced.
Oh, that's right. You went from there's people in the front row going, that's fucking right. You owe me 4 drinks.
They spent all their drink money on parking, so
Yeah,
they
that's
didn't have enough
right.
money to. We get it. We owe you one.
We should have snuck you a Coors Light.
That's
Damn
right.
it. I'm so sorry. You can go to the Yard House. All our friends are there.
So we really did start talking and became friends at this Halloween party, and we had talked all night, and we were like, let's meet for lunch. I want to talk to you more. We were talking about true crime, and we met and talked for 5 hours at Cafe 101. You guys know that place. And
they let you sit there for 5 hours and just keep drinking coffee.
They
it's
do.
Pretty chill.
And a little while later, I think I texted you, do you want to start a true crime podcast with me? Because all I wanted to do was keep talking to Karen about true crime, because I hadn't met anyone who was excited to talk about theories and favorite cases and, all this horrible things, these things that happen that are so awful, but I felt like I could talk to her about it. And so we started this podcast in my old little apartment in
2016.
Yeah,
right?
in Little Armenia, and now
in real Armenia.
Yeah.
It was a war-torn summer.
And now we're downtown at the Microsoft Theater doing the largest fucking live podcast ever, and
unbelievable.
I can't believe it. I'm blown away. We're so fucking honored and thrilled to be here, and appreciate you guys so much showing up on Halloween and supporting us through this whole thing. It's incredible.
We do spend a lot of time in between trying to answer emails quickly. We spend a lot of time staring at each other going, what the fuck is going on? And you guys have basically given us this humongous gift. For some reason, it was like you were all just sitting there waiting to have this conversation with us, and you were there from day one. You have turned out show after show. Everything we do, you're so supportive, and you're also creating communities with each other. And it is such a powerful thing to watch all of these people come together under the guise of true crime and actually raise money and make friends and deal with anxiety and do stuff that's such a hard thing to do alone. And now you're not alone anymore. It's the fucking coolest thing.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. You guys are doing it for each other.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting us do this. This is our dream job. Thank you for being here. And
we have to thank we have to thank with Microsoft Theater. They made us a fucking rug among many other things. They're so supportive and excited. There's a lot of apparently we've been told murderinos that work here, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But we also have to thank our agent Joe Swartz. The first year of touring goes, what if you did a live show on Halloween? And we're like, shut up. And
then he was like, how about the Microsoft 7,000 people? And we're like, shut up.
We were
no
like,
one
no.
will come.
Why are you trying to set us up for failure all the time?
But he did it.
He convinced us to do it, and you guys sold it out. And so thank you, Joe Schwartz, for letting us sass you constantly and for setting up these tours and the live shows. And thanks you guys for buying these tickets and making it a thing. We're so thrilled.
That's right. Thank
We're
you
just
to
so thrilled.
Steven and to Vince for supporting us.
Yes.
We love it. Thanks, you guys.
Stay sexy.
And
bye. Thank you.